So today we'll be carving maxillary central incisor. So for that we'll be needing this curver, a scale, and a divider, and of course a wax block. So for the dimensions I'll be referring to this book, Willard's Dental Anatomy and Physiology and Occlusion. This is the dimension for the central maxillary incisor. The crown length is 10.5 mm, the root length is 13 mm, the mediodistal diameter is 8.5, it is in crown. At cervix it is 7, the labialingual diameter at crown is also 7, at cervix it is 8, and the curvature of the cervical line at mesial is 3.5 and at distal it's 2.5. Okay, so now we'll mark the dimension for the crown. So before that, the crown was 10.5 mm, so we'll be taking like approx 11 mm, so that if when we'll be polishing it, during that process we don't reduce the wax. Okay, so it's 10.5, we'll be taking 11. Okay, this is 11. So now we'll have to mark it on the wax block this way. And this way. So after the marking is done, we're marking the mediodistal diameter at crown. So it's 8.5. We'll be taking 8.5. This is 8.5, so we'll be taking 9. We'll be taking some extra, so we'll remove it later during the polishing process. So mark it and mark it. Then we'll be taking the mediodistal diameter at cervix. Cervix it's 7. We'll be taking around 7.5. So this is 7.5. So 7.5 at the cervix, and also we'll be marking the opposite side. Okay. So now let's join these 2 points. Well, these 2 points we'll be joining it in this way. We'll be doing this in either side. These 2 points. So this is the marking. Well, I actually forgot, but we should always mark the mesial, distal, lingual, buccal aspect before start our carving. So let's say this is the buccal. So this is B. The opposite side will be the lingual. So I mark it as Li. This Li. So this will be the mesial. I'll mark it as M. The opposite to the mesial will be the distal. I'll mark it as D. Okay. So since we mark the mesio and distal, this for the mediodistal diameter. So this is the mesial and this is the distal. We'll be removing the extra wax. Like this is the extra wax. This is the extra wax from the other side. So we'll be removing it in this way. We'll not cross the line we marked. Slowly, the edges first. Okay, all the edges. After we're done with the edges, let's remove the entire this way. It will be roughly a trapezoid. You can also give this long strokes to make it smoother. So we are done with one side, this side. So we'll be removing the extra wax on the other side. So again the same process in this way. So just keep in mind that we don't cross the line we marked earlier, otherwise we'll have to start it from the beginning. So again the long stroke, try to hold the curve in a just like we hold the pen. In that way it becomes more stable. We'll have good control on it. So it's done approximately. So it's roughly like a trapezoid. Okay, trapezoid. So now we'll be marking the this lingual or labiolingual. Okay, labiolingual diameter at the cervix is 7 mm, so we'll be taking this 7 mm. We're taking a little more than 7 mm. Okay, it's 7.5. Let's mark it on the cervix. We'll mark it in such a way that we left equal portion of the wax on the other side. Same goes for the opposite side also. Okay, we're done now. We're done with the marking. Now roughly mark a point at the center, like middle, this one and this one. So this is the lingual portion, or the lingual aspect. So we'll have a cingulum near the cervix. It's approximately 1/3 of the entire crown length, and this will be like the rest of the tooth will be convex, and on the buccal aspect will be more or less concave. So we'll simply draw a line, a concave line joining this center point and the buccolingual diameter, just like this. Okay, we'll be dividing the lingual surface in 3 equal portion, this like this. Okay, now it's divided into 3 equal portion. We'll have to remove this upper 2 portion, just like this. Okay, first we'll be removing the half that will cover the first portion and the half of the second portion, since we have 3 portions, in this way. And during this we should not cross the midpoint we have marked, so it was the midpoint. So like now we have removed first portion. We'll be removing this half also, this half of the second portion, in this way. Okay, so it's done. Now we are left with one full portion of the 3 part and a half. Now since the lingual aspect is a little convex, so we have to make it like this, so it will be a convex. So for that, hold the curver in this way, like you should have a support. So for the support, keep your thumb in this manner, and while curving it, just rotate the curver in clockwise direction, this way. So we'll be putting pressure, at the same time we'll be rotating the curver. Okay. So you can see, while curving, I'm also rotating the curver. Okay. Okay, so now it's a convex surface. You can see it. It's not a straight line. It's a convex. So we have to remove the extra wax, as we have already marked the labiolingual diameter at the cervix. So these 2 points, if you can see in the video, okay, I'll show you. This was the marking, these 2 points. So other than this, we have to remove this portion and this portion, making the buccal surface a concave. Lingual was convex, so we'll be doing it in this way. First remove the edges, the other side of the lingual aspect. Okay, this is how we remove it. After removing it, we'll be giving some strokes to smooth it out, this way. So now the cingulum, this is the cingulum. Cingulum is visible to us. We'll round it off. We're done. So now we'll be giving structured shape of the buccal surface. Buccal surface is concave, so we'll be cutting in this way. This way. Okay. Up to this center point. This was the center point. Now we'll smooth it out, giving long strokes like this. Every stroke should be a single stroke. If we just keep on adding strokes, it will come out to be smooth. Or if we stop between the strokes, we'll have marking just like this. This is a marking, so we should not stop in between. It should be a complete stroke all the time from the big start to the ending. In that way we'll have a very smooth and shiny surface. So okay, so we are done with the buccal surface. Now it's a concave surface. You can see it. You can see it. Okay. Now we got some edges like this one, sharp edges. It should be round off this way. So we are nearly done with the crown. The only thing we left is the lingual fossa. Lingual fossa is, we can see it as inverted M shape. So like the opposite end of the curve, electron curve. Give it a gentle press this way. We are done with one. We'll go for the second. So this is how we do it. Just simply join this end. Well, this is how it looks like. So we are approximately done with the curving of the central maxillary central incisor. The only thing we are left with is the cervical line. So cervical line has curvatures on both the medial and distal aspect. On medial aspect it has a curvature of 3.5 mm, and on the distal aspect it has a curvature of 2.5 mm. So we're gonna mark that. Let's take 3.5 mm. Okay, so this is 3.5 mm. The mesial, just from the cervix, we'll be marking 3.5 mm. It is here. So this is the marking. This is the marking, and 2.5 mm on the distal aspect. So on the distal aspect, we'll be marking the point. Well, this is the marking. So now we can take the divider in this way and draw the cervical line. Well, it's not a straight line, it's a U shape on both lingual and the buccal surface. We'll do it like this. It's a U shape, and we'll be making the curvature up to this point we just marked. I will make the line a little more prominent. So we're done with the cervical line. Now we'll give it a final touch. We're rubbing it with cotton. We'll remove the wax particles as which got into the cervical line this way. It's done now. So this is how it looks like, the cervical line. So this is the maxillary central incisor. This is the mesial aspect. This is the lingual aspect. We got here the lingual fossa, the cingulum. This is the distal aspect. This is the cervical line, the curvature, got a curvature. And this is the labial aspect. So it's done. Thank you. Now we're done with the crown. So we can polish it now. For that, use the blunt edge of the curver, give some stroke like this, or you can also use this portion. So this is a round portion in this way. We'll be smoothing off the edges a little. Don't have much sharp edges in our incisor, so once it's done, we'll take cotton and smooth it off this way. So we'll be doing this before we go for the root, because once we have made the root, it becomes so delicate to handle. So after we are finished with the crown, we'll simply smooth it out. And one more thing, the distal edge, well, this is the distal edge, this is not this sharp, so we'll have to little cut the edge in this way. Now the crown is completely done. This is how it looks like. We have the lingual fossa, this lingual fossa, we have the cingulum. This is the convex surface, the lingual surface, the labial surface will be concave like this. So now we'll go, root length of the central incisor is 13 mm, so we'll be taking 13 mm. Well, this is 13 and 13.5. You can go with that. The mark it this way. So now we'll making the marking prominent. Okay, it's done. So the root of the central incisor is more or less conical, so we'll be taking all the extra wax off. We'll begin with the corners, the edges.